Hey, everybody, and welcome to another exciting new unit of notes. I know you have just been waiting so patiently. I know notes is your favorite, so welcome. It's time to take them again. This unit is called Earth Science. Not Earth Science, Earth Systems. Essentially, we're going to talk about the different systems on Earth and how they interact with each other. We're going to hit on some other stuff like renewable and non-renewable resources. We're going to get a little bit into climate change, which I know that you guys have asked me about before. So let's do some explaining today. Ready? Also, fun fact, I'm at my house recording. So if I do get a visitor, the dogs, just bear with me. We'll make it through. They're playing with toys. We'll see how long that lasts. They're like little kids. All right. Anyway, Earth systems. Let me move my head. Okay, so our first word is geosphere. And a geosphere is just basically all the rock and the soil and the dirt, essentially, that make up the land that we live on. So that would be considered our geosphere. As you can see in this picture, it's also known as the lithosphere. So if you ever see that in some reading, and we probably will, just in our different texts, and we'll just go over it again, that just is our geosphere. So some people call it lithosphere, we call it geosphere. Also, remember, if I go too fast in these videos, just feel free to pause me, finish writing everything you need to in your science notebook, so when you do make it back to class, you'll be ready to go. You won't need a packet from me to write them all when you get back to school. So just get them written now. It'll make your life so much easier. Yeah, so that's a geosphere. Let's move on. Move my head again. All right, our next one is the biosphere. And we've talked about the meaning of bio before. We know that it's living things. And if you put that together, we know this is the part where living things are. All the living things are a part of the biosphere. So we are a part of the biosphere. Leopold and Squire are a part of the biosphere. Your cat is a part of the biosphere. A cow is a part of the biosphere. I could keep going. I'm not going to because, we got things to do today, and I'm not just going to list living things. But it's not just animals, it's also those plants and that bacteria. Anything that is alive is going to be part of this biosphere. Also, where you find the life would be considered biosphere as well. So that's our lovely little diagram of the biosphere there. All right, ooh, I don't know if there's a place for my head. I'm just gonna put it. Oh geez, now my mouse got stuck. We'll just put it right there. Okay, deal with me. It'll be okay. All right, the hydrosphere is basically the water. Hydro means water, something we've talked about a little bit before as well. And this can be in any state. So this goes back to the water cycle. We talked about the water cycle a little bit at the beginning of the year, so we're going to come back to it. I think I told you it was coming, and here it is. It can be in any state, so that's solid, liquid, or gas. Basically, and the water cycle shows how this goes. But the hydrosphere is any of the water on the planet, regardless of what form it's in. Hydrosphere. They have it in their little ocean or lake. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the water cycle, and you should have a diagram in your science folder already from when we did that worksheet. If you don't and need another copy, either email me and I will give it to you and forward it to you, or you can just let me know when you get back to school and I will give you another copy. The water cycle is just the process that water goes through to move between the different states and move to different parts of the air and the land. It's all about evaporation and condensation. We also talked about transpiration, and if you don't remember what transpiration is, that's just when water evaporates off of plants. So, told you that word's going to come back, and you're going to have to know it. Here it is. Here's the time. Here's your time to shine, especially if you remembered it. So, we will do some review on the water cycle. So, yeah, just in case you forgot, which you could have. It was a long time ago. All right, let's move on to atmosphere and find a place for my head. Okay. The atmosphere is just the layer of gas that surrounds the Earth. It's made up of lots of different gases, so it's not just, air, not just oxygen. Other planets other planets also have atmospheres, which is kind of interesting, and some larger moons. So we're not the only fancy ones. I tell you all the time how lucky we are to be on what I think is the best planet. But other planets also have an atmosphere. I think they copied us, but probably not because we're not the oldest planet. But we won't get into that. All right, let's keep going. All right. Our next one is a reservoir. We are going to do a little bit of talk about landforms, which I believe you've already discussed in social studies, maybe. If not, you're going to. So, sneak peek again. Reservoirs are basically man made things to store water. We use them obviously for drinking water and things like that. So, there you go. There's a picture. Woohoo! Oh, there's my head. All right, next we're going to talk about salt water and fresh water. And I'm sure most of you are pretty familiar with this, but I thought I'd give you, a reminder if not. Salt water just is basically water with salt in it, like it says. A lot of people will call it saline because all saline is salt water. You may also hear saline if you were to be in the hospital or be around someone that knows things about the medical field because they use salt water for different things like clearing lines and fun stuff like that. And all of it usually is from the seas or oceans, and it's the most abundant on Earth. So most of our water on Earth is salt water, which, not sure if you know this or not, we don't drink. We drink fresh water. So, okay, next, fresh water. Basically, water without salt in it. I know, shocking, groundbreaking. This is the water you find in lakes, rivers, snow, and even ice. This is the water that we drink. So while most of our water on Earth is salt water, we actually rely on fresh water to survive. Right, and this is going to be our last one for today. I know it seems pretty short, but that's all right. You'll be fine. There's a lot of writing, so I didn't want to, cramp your hand up. Anyway, lakes are large bodies of water that are surrounded by land. Sure, you've heard of this. And it's pretty still. So all that means is it's not like flowing or moving like we think of rivers and things like that. And fun fact, they can contain salt water. We usually think of lakes having fresh water, though. All right, folks, you keep on keeping on. Get all these notes written down and join me again. I can't remember what day we're doing notes. Anyway, join me again, and this link will be up, and woohoo! All right, you have a fantastic day. Happy science time.